Hello YouTube and welcome to the dojo. You're here with Samurai Man. And today we're going to talk about Fall of Cybertron Onslaught, first of the Combaticons. So, as you can see, he's supposed to be some sort of artillery carrier thing, I think. I'm guessing. It looks like he's just missing, like, the trailer with all the weapons and stuff. So that kind of the bummer. I mean, I feel like they honestly just said, hey, if we call it Cybertronian, we can make it look as ridiculous as we want, and that's what they did. As you see, he's got his cannon here, which is kind of facing downwards. Yeah, nothing you can really do about that, just because you can't bring the hands. They're connected to the hands, and you can't really bring them down. Another thing, it pops out very easy. I'll just take this off and show you right now. See, I got stress marks all around, just because the way they made it. It's a very tiny gun, and the hand pegs are very far apart compared to how they are right there. So, got some ridiculous stress marks. I did mess with it, and I think I might have just had the hands lined up wrong, and as you can see, it's too hard to get on properly, so I'm just going to leave it like that. It takes too much time, and I'm also doing it backwards, so that's probably another issue. But yeah, nothing's really wants to fit right. I mean, I guess, yeah, now I got it going, but, yeah. So, as you can see, hands are right there. Didn't really hide them at all. Oh, we'll use the gun to cover them. Well, that did a great job, yeah, sure. And he's got a nice, teeny tiny Decepticon logo right there. Oh, you can see his pegs for his arms. I don't really mind it. I mean, you have to have something showing. Pegs for the legs. I actually do like the pegs being right here, just because it feels like a trailer is supposed to hit you on, so it kind of looks right. Kind of like it's supposed to look like that, maybe. That's how I go about it. You can look at it as whatever you want. This actually kind of reminds me of a Soundwave, actually, now that I look at it. Like, it makes it feel like Soundwave's, like, chest or front of his hood thing, where he had all, like, the spikes. I don't know. Yeah. It's whatever. The color scheme, I honestly don't think is that bad. The only problem is it's on Onslaught. If they had used this color scheme on a different toy altogether, I think it would look totally fine. It's just everyone's expecting an Onslaught color scheme, and we're getting this. So, I think that's really the only issue. And, yeah, let's go ahead and transform this guy. Just start by taking off the gun, which is super easy. And then you just take these arms, lift them up, and then just bring them. They're on a hinge right here, so you just bring this hinge on over. Do it on both sides. And then you want to just bring up, see there's got a ratchet joint right here. And this arm in particular has an incredibly tight ratchet joint. So it wants to, and it's on a ball joint. It's a ratchet and a ball joint, so it'll pop off at a moment's notice. Just this one. This one's nicely done. This one's really solid, so if you want to make a pose, you'll stay there at least. I just want to split the legs. There, you got some little pegs. I don't know if you can see them that well, but he's got some little pegs right there, see? And they just tap into here, and then on both sides. So, got that. Flip his arms. Well, actually, bring his chest up. Go ahead and just, like, flip this whole thing. Yeah, it clicks in very nice if you heard that. It just, see there? Yeah, so it's very solid. Take this whole backpack piece, and then just, it's on another little tiny hinge. Yeah. Bit of a challenge, but you want to get this up. And then he's got these two big old things that just plug in right there. They don't stay very well, but they'll stay enough. Take his Bruticus head, bring it down to reveal his Onslaught head, and I'll get into more about that later. Just put those right there. There's his arms. And then bring this down. And then there's his arm. I'll bring down more. Take the legs. And then they're pegged in right there. And there's a tab inside. Just bring it back around. And do it on both sides. And there you have robot mode. And his butt fell out. See that? It doesn't like to stay in that well. And I gotta say, his back actually doesn't look that bad. You can see the head right there, but at least it fills in the back. So that's, I like it. His hands are very tiny. They're very small, and they do that. And they have a ratchet that And they're on a ball joint right there, and then they have a ratchet at the elbow. But that's the extent of his articulations in the hands. So, not much to work with. His elbows can go that far. So at least he can raise his hand. He's like, go, Combaticons. Go, go, go. I don't know, something like that if you want. Just trying to be creative. And like I said, see, his ratchet joint is incredibly tough. See, that was really hard to do actually. So it'll, if you try using the ratchet while it's on his arm, it'll usually just pop the ball joint right out. Not a big deal, you just pop it back in, but I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. It's a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because you know it's a solid joint, but it's a bad thing because it keeps popping out. Legs, they are on nice ratchet joints just because they will be the main points for the Bruticus articulation. And the legs can go about that far. I mean, they're very chunky, as you can see. No, nothing else there. I mean, they do have a swivel, thigh swivel, but that's the extent of his legs. They do have a good articulation. And his head can turn almost all the way. It can turn backwards. I don't know if I can get it. Oh yeah, you can go 360. Okay, so you can go 360. It's on like, not a ball joint actually, I thought it was, but it's on something. And that's about it for articulation. Got that over with. Oh wait, waist swivel. You can swivel the waist just because it's supposed to turn all the way around for Bruticus transformation, which I'll get into later. And that's about it. No wrist swivel. And so now let me talk to you about the paint. Oh my dear lord, all this glossy paint sucks. I hope they never ever ever use glossy paint on a Transformer toy ever again. Ever since I transformed it once straight out of the box, paint has been chipping like nobody's business. From one transformation, look at all that paint that's just gone. I think I do actually have the proper paint to fix it. Hold his gun. And he does hold it pretty well. Stays in very firm. But it just, since his arms are very limited, it's kind of hard to get a good pose with him. He's just like, rah. So there's Onslaught. I gotta be honest, he's not a bad figure. I don't really mind the fact that his articulation is not that great. I just wish he had a better paint job. Just like, not even a better like color scheme paint job, just a better blasting paint job. Very more permanent paint job. His head does look a bit weird. He does have this big old panel, which kind of is a bummer. And it looks like it should come out more, but it doesn't. That's the extent of it. It's just like gappage in here. So for comparisons, I have my Shockwave figure, and as you can see, Onslaught is actually much bigger than him. So that's good to see, because Onslaught is a big guy. He's smaller than him, which is a bit disappointing just because Brawl is probably either my favorite or second favorite of the bunch, and he should be bigger. Here is Swindle. They're taller, the same height, can't really tell. They're about the same bulk, because his legs are bulkier. Limb mode, so just start by taking his legs, and then you kind of just basically transform him back into robot mode, but do things a bit different. So this is part of the regular transformation, just do that. Take his head, bring up the Bruticus head, flip it around, and then the arms are pretty much already done. Just gotta turn them around on the ball joint, and then bring the ratchet back up. And what you want to do, if I can get this out of the way here. Also, you're supposed to bring this down. So like I said, it's basically like a little different waist part right there. Flip this around while we're at it. Peg them in there. They actually peg in very well. I honestly thought they weren't gonna stay when I first saw like people doing it, but he does grasp them very well. So that, flip up these parts, and you're done. There it is. Very simple. Take the back on. It's kind of hard to get in. Once you get it in, it's very secure. It's a bit challenging to get it in the first place. And it is small. My complaint is this is a very small gun. Hasbro did cheap out and make this gun very tiny. And it's hollow, which looks terrible. I wish there was like pegs here where you could just flip it around. I don't know. Maybe third party. You know. We saw that Target exclusive Bruticus add-on kit by Fans Project, which looked amazing. So maybe we'll get something here. It definitely needs it. I'm pretty sure nobody would argue with that. But there you go. Pretty decent figure. So, this has been Samurai Man. Have a great day.